All right, welcome everyone to the Driven Director Happy Hour. How's everyone doing today? Hey, here we have our beautiful teachers. They're so excited to teach tonight. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. And so if this is your first happy hour, congratulations. Yay, you earned it by being an on-target star consultant with 1,200 wholesale in for the quarter. We still have 1 month to go before our star quarter ends, and you girls earned it, so congratulations. And before we get started, I'm going to do a quick announcement, and then these teachers are going to take it away because you guys sent in some pretty awesome questions, okay? So the very first thing that I want to share with you guys is it's back. What's back? The Driven Family Rally is back. We used to do these live and in person and broadcast virtually and to all of our centers and hubs around the US. And now we're doing this and it's going to be virtual. So it'll be bilingual. It'll have translation into Spanish. And it'll be Saturday, March 6th at 8:30. And one of the things that I am most excited about this event is that you guys, you're going to be able to not just be able to hear from and celebrate the Red Jackets, but also you're going to get to hear from the directors. You're going to get to hear about their lives and their prior careers and how long they've been in Mary Kay. And we're going to celebrate Red Jackets, and we're going to give recognition to our Reds in qualification with 1 or 2 actives. So this is going to be an incredible event. I'm super excited for you guys to participate. So put it in your calendar. And for those of you that are thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be really early, Ari. Holy cow. Yeah, you're going to be up early on Saturday. You're going to get up, get cute, and get out. And you're going to have a powerful peak day. Because trust me, by the time that rally's over, you're going to wish you had guests for your 10 a.m. makeover session that your director's got going on Saturday morning. That's for sure. Okay. So make sure that you save the date for March 6th. It's going to be an awesome event. All right. Well, we got your questions. We're excited. We have phenomenal topics that we're going to be sharing with you guys today. What can you expect to hear today? Each teacher has 5 minutes, and they're going to be sharing tips with you on booking, time management, how to work virtually, lead generation, team building for those of you that want to grow your team, how to be consistent in your business, how to work with your team, how to have a work-life balance, like how do I do this and that and everything, and how to have a DIQ mindset and a winning mindset and how to stay motivated. So are you ready? Yes, I hope that you are. So here is our very first teacher to talk to you about booking, the amazing, the incredible, brand new sales director, Mabel Murr. Take it away, girl. Oh, wait, I think you're muted.
Hi, yes, Madi's teaching about booking. I'm here. Okay, we're ready. I am so excited to get to teach you about booking tonight. And as I was thinking about what I could possibly say about booking, I was thinking about my current situation and being 7 months pregnant and just talking about booking with urgency because it is all that is on my mind right now. And so I wanted to share with you just some great tips and things that I've learned over the last 8.5 years about what booking with urgency and what booking means and is for our business. We've heard it a million times. Booking really truly is the lifeblood of our business, right? And we know that if you are out of bookings, you are out of business. And so I wanted to share with you why right now you might be excited or get excited about booking with urgency. When I think of the word urgency, it's not really like in my personality to be urgent, but there is nothing like a deadline to make things feel urgent, right? And so whether you have a literal deadline like me when you're giving birth, or you have a deadline because you have a big goal that you're stretching for, booking with urgency tells your customers, your family, and your friends that you are serious about your goal. It shares with them that number one, You're not wasting their time. You're not wasting your time. That you are truly a winner and a champion in your business. And it also puts you on the offensive, right? So it gives you that control of knowing that you are being proactive to do what you have to do to build your business. The other thing that I want you to know about that's so important is that booking with urgency is really all about a mindset. And I'm really big on mindset because you can't do anything without the right mindset. And so when you are in a situation where you're getting ready to book, what kind of mindset are you going into your booking with? There are so many different scripts and so many different tools out there. Right now, we are, as a Driven National area, really rallying around these amazing 10-minute appointments. Our national and our directors have put together some incredible resources for you. And so can you get excited about booking these 10-minute appointments? Can you make booking a way of life? Can you commit to a certain number of bookings every day or every week? Making booking commonplace in your life, almost like if it's business as usual. I know that for me, as a brand new consultant coming up in my business, I was just really focused on being consistent with my booking. So setting aside time, either on a daily or weekly basis. At the time, I was working full time, and I would sneak this in the morning at 7 a.m. or during my lunch in what I called the secret garden. I would go and hide out and book for 15, 20 minutes. But really finding time every day to be intentional about getting those bookings and getting things on my calendar. I will share that really so much of it is being prepared. Are you prepared with who you're going to be reaching out to? Are you prepared with who you need to follow up with? Are you prepared with having cancellations, right? Knowing that there will be cancellations, knowing that you may be disappointed with no's along the way, and that is okay. But then also realizing that those no's are getting you closer to your yes. And so I love that in our business, a no just means next one, or it can also mean next opportunity. And I've always looked at those no's as like with excitement, saying, you know what, my yes must be coming. And so just knowing what your booking numbers are as well, I think is so, so important. And so when you're preparing to book on a consistent basis, do you have your script, right? Are you booking those 10-minute appointments? Are you booking parties? What is it that you're booking exactly for? Is it your weekly success event or your weekly shake up your makeup? Having that script ready, having your list ready, knowing who it is that you're reaching out to, being prepared with that great mindset, knowing when you're going to book each day, carving out the time, and just being committed to that consistency, knowing that it's going to pay dividends in your business. So booking is truly one of my favorite things to do because it allows us to connect with people. It's that first connection point. And I hope that as you continue to build your business, you will love booking as much as I do, that you will be inspired to connect with women and to create that first contact point as you build trust with them, build a great relationship with them, build customers, and so much more. So I know that we've got some awesome, great training. My girlfriend Mabel is going to take it away. I'm going to pass it on to her and to the rest of my girlfriends.
Hi, everyone. So I don't know if you've ever had like a party and a group of friends and they ask you, okay, if you could have one superhero power, what superhero power would you pick? And people, my husband will say mind control, right? People will say to fly, to be invisible, all these fun things. My answer since I was a teenager, and it is still true to this day, I always say, if I could have any superhero power, it would be to control time. I would love to have just like a little remote control where I can say, okay, pause. Oh, nap time. Okay, resume. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that. Rewind. Oh my gosh, let's fast forward. This is so boring, right? So time management, right? So what does that mean to have that superhero power of time management? Fun fact, everyone. Did you know that we all are given the same exact hours in a week? We have 168 hours every single week. That is how much we have, okay? And I'm sure you've heard it. You've heard it from people maybe that are, you're like, oh my gosh, I want you to join the business, join my team. And they're like, oh, but I have no time, right? Or you're yourself, you're like, oh my gosh, I would just love to be a director, but I just have no time. Why do we do that? Why do we put that phrase on a pedestal and say we have no time? We are given the same exact hours, every single one of us, every single one of us. So to break it down a little bit, okay, we each, let's say you're sleeping a good amount of sleep, not extra, but just a good amount every single night. In that week, you're sleeping about 56 hours, okay, in that week. Then between eating, commuting to work, family time, things like that, you're spending about 42 hours a week. And then if you have a full-time business, just like me, right? Not full-time business, a full-time career, right? I'm a teacher. And so it's about 40 hours is an average career time, right? 40 hours a week. That leaves you with 30 hours, enough time to pursue your dreams. Now, here's where the superhero power comes in. Are you spending those 30 hours Netflix, going through your social media, right? Like, what are you doing, right? So those 30 hours are so, so important. So here's a quote from Mary Kay Ash. Mary Kay Ash always said, do not limit yourself. People always limit themselves to what they think they can do. You can go as far as your mind lets you. What you believe, remember, you can achieve. And you can achieve so much in those 30 hours. And so I want to give you some tips and some strategies on how to be a superhero and master your powers of time management, okay? What is exactly time management? Like, you might hear that, and like I mentioned before, I wish that meant that we could freeze time, we can add more time, we can jump through it, but really we cannot, right? So time management is the ability to use one's time effectively and productively, okay? Especially when it comes to your work, right? So it's just being so smart with that time. So first, the tip I definitely want to share with you is goal setting. So, if you're brand new to Mary Kay or you've been around for Mary Kay has a fiscal year. It starts in July and it ends in June. And so at the beginning of every year, it's so exciting to have these year goals, like by the end of this year, I'm going to earn a car, earn a diamond. So that's great to take the time and set out your year goal. Then you can break your goals into quarters every 90 days. Right? Maybe it's like, oh my gosh, in the next 90 days, I want to be a red jacket. I want to enter DIQ. I want to earn my star. I want to be a star consultant. And then here's where it gets good, right? So all of that's like you're putting out there your goals to the universe, your goal setting. You're like, yes. Now here's where it gets the good stuff, okay? Is when it comes to your month. What are you currently doing to really plan out your month? What strategies do you have in place to really master and be powerful in your month? So I'm going to show you here. Mine is super colorful and super, okay? And the reason I want to show you this is you want to have some kind of strategy, some kind of planner, some kind of agenda, whether it's digital through your phone, whatever speaks to you the best. Do you love that your iCalendar on your Apple talks to you and reminds you of things? I am 37 years old, and so putting things to pen and paper give me power. So what is something that gives you power? And so this is an agenda, okay, that I've just chosen. It's colorful, it's pretty, and it speaks to me. And it makes me excited and inspired to be able to plan my month, okay? So find something that you can have an overlook on your month. Maybe it's a desk month calendar, right? Like the ones you put on your desk. Something that empowers you where you can have this overview, like a bird's eye view of your entire month. When you're there, set your month goals. How much in sales do you want that month? Guys, it doesn't just happen because you're like, oh, I want to make $1,000 and it didn't happen. Did you set that as a goal? And then work backwards. What's your month goal? What's your face goal? What's your team building goal? Your dream chats, all that stuff, put that around. And then take a time and put everything in your month calendar. I literally put from church to all my virtual sessions to dropping off. I don't drop off everything at a hat and be like, oh, I'm going to drop off a product, right? Everything is timed, even from work, when I cook, everything, every single thing is broken down to that month. Then the next step, once you've broken down and you just have all your appointments, your work, gym, soccer practice, whatever it is, you have it all written down. The next step is having your weekly. And my weekly, because I share my information with my family, right? It's good to have this. This one goes on my fridge. It's nice and clean right now because I wanted to show it to you. But here I break down so that way we know each other's schedules. Be like, okay, on Tuesdays, this is the time we have dinner. On Wednesdays, this is the time we have dinner. Okay, this is the time that you're going to expect me home. Don't talk to me between this time to this time because I have my Mary Kay hat on, right? And so having that weekly planner breaks down your week. And then you have your daily. And your daily is when you have your top 6 reasons, your top 6 things to do. And of course, you can have a bunch of things like groceries and a bunch of things, but your top 6 have to do your Mary Kay. Here's my best tip. Do the hardest first. The thing that you avoid the most goes as number 1. And that is something you do. You look at every day, kind of like a to-do list. And you look at it and you start checking off, checking off, checking off, checking off. So now I want to give you a challenge as I wrap up. Think about this week. What is one thing that you do currently to manage your time? And then think about the second question is, what do you use? Are you using a calendar? Are you using a planner? What are you using? And the last thing, what is one thing that you can do or you can master and be powerful this week to really get that superhero time? Okay, ladies, so I'm going to give you now to our amazing, beautiful Diane Fellini. Go ahead, take it away, Diane.
Thank you, Mabel, so much. And so now that you have your bookings underway, you got your time management tightened up, I'm going to talk to you about working virtually, but not just working virtually because, hello, you are the star consultants in the group here. And I bet you are already working virtual, right? So what I'm here to talk to you about today specifically is mastering. How do you master working virtual? And I have 3 top tips for you, okay? Number 1 is know your platforms, okay? So know your platforms, know your resources, know the different types of virtual environments you can plug into, right? So that's the one thing I do love about the virtual world is that there is no one size fits all, and you can kind of plug and play. And so what are they out there? Do you know what they are? Okay, so I'm going to list some of these out for you. We all know what Zoom is, right? And so, of course, we could do Zoom one-on-ones and Zoom facials or Zoom group parties, group sessions, stuff like that. We have the WhatsApp pop-up parties that are really popular in our Driven National area, right? We have Facebook parties. It's also another option is Facebook parties. I know that we don't do a whole lot of those in the Driven National area, but I have girlfriends outside of Driven that are rocking it out with Facebook parties. I've done some myself. Then you have, your 10-minute beauty breaks, right? So you can do those on FaceTime or Facebook Messenger, a WhatsApp video chat, any kind of video chat service that's out there. And then you have kind of these watch and win type of formats where it's like maybe you have a YouTube channel and you want to do what we're doing today and you're like, I don't want to go live. I'd rather just videotape myself and then have it out there and get some feedback from my customers, But you can do watch and wins. You can do where they watch you put on the product. They don't have samples, right? Kind of like QVC style. So you can do that in all different types of formats. Do you know all those formats exist? Okay, where have you plugged in and played during this virtual time that we've had? And so if you're feeling like your business, your book of business, what you're offering your clients needs a little bit of a pick-me-up, then think about how do I get plugged into knowing how to do fill in the blank. Whether that's a Zoom party, whether that is a, watch and win, whether it's a Facebook party, whether it's this 10-minute beauty break, any of those. I say try it all, okay? You may not be great at all, okay? So you don't want to be the jack of all trades, master of none, okay? And that leads me into another great segue. Whatever your director is offering, plug into it, okay? So if your director's like, I'm doing a WhatsApp party for the unit, plug into it. Whether you have guests or not on any of these venues. Now, it's smart to have a guest, right? Let's make some money, honey. You're going to be on there anyway. But at a minimum, don't let that hold you back. Plug into the WhatsApp party. Plug into your unit success meeting if she's having a guest event, Make sure that you're plugging in so you can see what those types of formats look like, okay? And so how do you get good at mastering any of those, okay? This is the second thing I want to tell you. It's operate in your joy spot. I think a lot of times, I can look left, I can look right, and I can say, oh my gosh, but she's rocking it out with Facebook parties. And I did 3 Facebook parties and they were a total bomb. That's like true confessions, okay? But I have a friend outside of Driven that, she is rocking it out with Facebook parties, right? So instead of beating myself up to go figure out how to master the Facebook party, okay, I'm going to go and channel my attention somewhere where I may be better suited. Okay. And so I'm finding in this season, I'm loving the 10-minute beauty breaks. It just speaks my language. It helps me. I'm a loving connection kind of girl. And I want to be able to connect with you eyeball to eyeball, not like here, I'm not connecting with any of you. I am and I'm not, because I can't see you. And I love to see eyeballs, And so, the thing is, though, it's not that I won't do a Facebook party. I have done all the platforms at this point. So I'm able to offer any of them to my clients, because some clients they're all about social media. They have Facebook, their whole life's on Facebook. And so for me to offer them anything else, they wouldn't take it, but they would love to do a Facebook party. I know how to do one now, And what I will tell you is this: do enough of one to know if it's something that brings you joy. Okay. What's enough? I don't know. You have to determine what enough is. Okay. But I would say probably more than 3. But don't spend too much time trying to figure out how to do all these things. Plug into someone who's already doing it and rocking it out, and ask if you can shadow in those opportunities. And last but not least, that was number 2, operate in your joy spot. Okay. And then number 3, last but not least, is extend grace. Extend grace to yourself. Okay. Like, there are going to be technology issues. There certainly are. And I think what I find in this environment is everybody's kind of, they're a little bit more easy to extend grace to you when you're having a technology issue, or when it may not even technology. Maybe you forgot to take off your eye makeup, whatever it might be that you forgot. Extend yourself grace, laugh it off, okay? Because everybody needs a little relief at the end of the day, or in the morning, or in the afternoon, whenever it is that you're doing your virtual sessions. Like I said, don't compare yourself to what anybody else is doing, okay? Have fun, get creative, own your brand. Say, this is what I'm really good at, and this is what I'm going to stick to. If it's working for you, don't break it. But what I will say is start to experiment a little bit more into other platforms as well. Be spontaneous, you guys. What I find in this environment is that the more spontaneous you are, I think you just kind of let go, and you're like, okay, this is no blood, no broken bones. Somebody wants to reschedule, not a big deal, right? Because what I find in this environment is that you can coach closer to the party. You can book closer to the date. Like, I can book someone today for tomorrow night. Whereas maybe in the real world, we used to do eyeball to eyeball, belly button to belly button. People needed a week in advance. They don't need that now, And so just get creative, be spontaneous, find your joy spot, get out there and connect with women, and have fun. I'm going to lead it over to Lisa Ming to talk to you about lead generation.
I love that segue. That was awesome. So lead generation, kind of scary for a lot of people, right? How many people in this virtual world have just been seeing the same faces over and over again? You're like, how do I break out of this cycle and book somebody new? Well, I'm excited to share some tips with you guys. So it's always easiest to get leads with people or from people that you have a relationship from. So do it at your virtual appointments. If somebody's already there with you, how are you incentivizing them to share some of their friends or family or colleagues, neighbors, whatever with you? Are you incentivizing them with a gift coupon? Are they getting raffle tickets for maybe a giveaway by giving some referrals? One of my favorite things is to go ahead and text people during the appointment an image that looks something like this: 24, 24, 24. Imagine this: share me with 24 friends in the next 24 hours for $24 in free Mary Kay. There's a deadline. There creates a little bit of urgency, and it's something where they're getting something out of it. Remember, a woman always wants to know what's in it for her. I have another great idea. Imagine if you just text one of those 1-minute videos that Mary Kay puts out on YouTube. Maybe it's about the hydrogel eye patches, and you just say, hey, Susan, I would love for you to complete a survey on this. In return, you're going to learn some fun information. When they complete the survey, one of the options is which 5 friends would love to try this product for you to get a free trial yourself. So you mail them a set of hydrogel eye patches for 5 of their friends' names and referrals. Okay? I always think it's great for you to be specific when asking a customer for a lead. Who is a busy mom that you know that needs a little TLC? Which of your friends has that brutally honest opinion? Because bam, somebody popped right into her head, as specific as you are. Okay, so it gives people a little bit of direction, and it gives you the opportunity to be in front of people that you want to be in front of. Like, who's the busiest person you know? You know, that's a woman that's making things happen. Okay, and the great thing is when we're doing these virtual events, and Diane shared some great ideas, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, video chats, you can have your hostess or your guest create a group chat with friends that you would love to involve in the experience. It's an opportunity that now she didn't have to text you their contact, but she connected you guys, and now you guys have a way to connect outside of the hostess. Okay, so a couple ideas on how you can get that contact information. So one of the great questions we had was, how do we talk to referrals that we don't have a relationship with to book them? Okay, and the great thing is this: find a connection. And do you know what your immediate connection is? The person who referred you. So let's say Sally referred Julie to you. Just take a moment and thank Sally for the referral and say, hey, what do you love most about Julie? Maybe she's like, man, she can make me laugh when I'm on the verge of tears because my life just went wrong. You can bring that up in the conversation, and when you go to book Julie, say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to get to know you because Sally mentioned your sense of humor and how you can just put a smile on anybody's face. Create the connection and say, listen, I would love to gift you this opportunity because Sally's a great friend of mine, or because you treat Sally so well. What's in it for her? And you're there to honor and to serve her with the experience. Remember, she's the most important person. Treat her like the queen that she is, and treat her like this is an experience just for her. What would she like to learn about? What is she interested in? What are her biggest concerns? These things are going to create that connection so you can customize the experience. And when she feels valued and heard, she's going to want to invite some friends and family to that experience. And look, you have some new leads. So I'm excited I got to share those things with you. And I'm even more excited to hear Sharon Miranda share about some team building. So I'm passing it on over to Sharon.
I love your tips, Lisa. Thank you so much. So I'm going to talk about team building superstars. You guys are all superstars. Congratulations for being here. So team building, first of all, let's address something really important. Do not shut down on me if you're like, oh, here she comes talking about team building. I really don't have it in my heart to be a director. Because even if you don't want to be a director, team building is still for you because it means more money for your family and for your household. So it just makes sense. You can have in your heart leadership and being a director, and amen for that. Go, sister, go. But even if it's that's not where you're at right now in your business, team building is still for you. So hear me out, okay? So I am going to make sure that I turn on my 5 minutes because I will talk over that. So when it comes to team building, and this just comes from my pure experience, 8 years in Mary Kay, what I found when I started my business, for the first 3 months, I had no team building. And it was because I was not sharing. I was selling. And I literally was not sharing at all. First, because I was intimidated. Second, because I did not know the marketing, how to share the marketing opportunity. So if you have team building, or if you have leadership and mentorship in your heart, you need to know the marketing plan. You need to be familiar and how to share and how we make money in Mary Kay. That is the very first thing. So you need to do your homework, okay? The beautiful thing about our Driven National area is that you hear the directors do this over and over and over. And we work a model of 360 in the Driven National area. So plug in, like Diane was saying, plug into everything that your director is doing, because you're going to be hearing her over and over on how to share the marketing, and that's going to help you have the tools and the resources and what to say when it's your turn to do that, okay? The second thing that you need to do is you need to know your why. Why do you have it in your heart to team build? Why do you have it in your heart to be a director, or maybe not be a director, but maybe you need more income, and team building is that way for you to get another source of income from Mary Kay for your family. Know your why, because one thing that I know and that I've learned is that people not only buy from you. People not only book from you, but people also join your team because they like you, because they identify with your story, with who you are and what you're trying to achieve. So know your why, work on that I story, make sure that it's polished and that it is up to date and that you know exactly what you're talking about and where you're going when you talk to someone, because your story is what's going to excite them, and it's going to create energy. It's going to be contagious because you're so excited about it. And when you talk to them, they're going to be like, what? I want to be as passionate as her. I want to go where she's going. Because let's be real, we are in our pink world, but outside of this pink world, most people don't know where they're going. Most people are not passionate, but we are totally different. We're unicorns in a world of horses, you guys. So we need to make sure that we are passionate and that we are sharing that passion with others with our I story. So make sure that you have that down packed. Okay, and then once you do that, make sure that you are ready to share with everyone, you guys. When the dream of directorship was born in my heart, I shared it with everyone. Everyone knew, my coworkers, my family, my friends, everyone. When I say everyone, everyone with a capital E. Did everyone understand my story? Absolutely not. Did everyone understand why I was working Mary Kay? Absolutely not. And that's okay. We need to normalize that. We need to know that your job is to share it, but not everyone will probably get it. And that is okay, because that doesn't validate or doesn't justify if it's good, if it's for you or not, because God gave you the dream. God gave you the vision and the desire. He didn't give it to them. And it's okay that some people won't understand. Okay. And another thing is overcoming objections is another tip that I have for you guys. Knowing those frequent objections that we get to the opportunity. You know, we don't have the time. That was mine when someone shared the opportunity. I didn't have the time, but I quickly found out that with 2 hours, right, I can share the opportunity. 2 hours a week, I can work my Mary Kay business. And now virtually, you guys, in 10 minutes, you can make money in Mary Kay. In 10 minutes, you can connect with someone. So time really is not a factor nowadays, but are you confident enough to overcome that objection, right? Are you confident enough to overcome the objection of not having the money to start, or, you know, I don't know people, or, you know, so make sure that you feel comfortable and are, you know, confident in how you're going to respond to that person. And if you are wanting to go to Red, right, you want to go to Red because you want to debut at the Driven Family Rally, right? That's what we're all going to do. And if not, if you're already in Red, you're going to move up to the next position. Then make sure that you're also working the numbers. You know, what I quickly learned was that when I first started my Mary Kay business and sharing, I was not sharing with the correct amount of people that I needed to see movement and growth in my team. So make sure that you have the correct numbers. Okay. So at least 30 people or more need to be listening to the marketing opportunity, right? And then once you start welcoming all these new team members, make sure that you are a vessel of connection. Connect them to your director, connect them to our area. And look, oh my God, I told you I was going to talk more than 5 minutes. That is my 5 minutes. How do I turn this off? Okay, here we go. But one last thing, you guys, is don't give up. Just keep sharing. That is your job. It is their job to decide if Mary Kay is for them or not. Keep sharing and don't give up, because you know what? Sometimes people said no to me in the beginning, but because they saw me persist and get to the goal and keep growing, they then got to me and said, hey, I want to know a little bit more about what you wanted to talk to me months ago, because I see that it's actually working. So don't give up, because your actions speak louder than words, and let's grow. Now let's talk to Rosana.
Yay! How exciting. How exciting. I love your alarm, Sharon, by the way. So I will be talking about consistency. So first of all, I want to say congratulations to all of you who have been consistent, tracking your numbers to get your next star. I have been in Mary Kay for now, March is going to be 12 years. And I have been very consistent with my sales. I have been very consistent with my activity. And for all this year, I started consulting every quarter except for 2. And one of them was when I delivered my baby. And the second one was when I was actually preparing for my boards and my medical boards.
Other than that, I have been very consistent. So one of the things that I want to talk is you are a leader no matter where you are in your business. So for leaders, consistency is required for leadership. And you can tell me, I'm here just to sell. So let me tell you something, you're a leader for your customers. Maybe you want to grow a team and you have consultants with you, so you're a leader for your consultants. Maybe you don't have a lot of customers and maybe you don't have any consultant yet, but you are a leader in your family and you're a leader of your friends. So people, like Sharon said, people are watching you. Your family is watching everything that you do. If you're consistent with your business, they're going to take you more seriously. Your family, your friends, your customers, and your consultants. So everything that you do really matters. So things that I can tell you from consistency is consistency inspires to people to trust you. So if you want to build like strong relationships, it's very important to inspire trust. So let's say you're a consultant and you're selling. Just by selling your products and doing everything that you already know and that you learned today, whatever you plug into, your 10-minute facials or your pin pop-up, but you are consistent, your customers are going to know that you're there. You're always there for them. So that's the number one thing. For your consultants, when you talk, like we said, words speaks louder. Action speaks louder than your words. You can say something, but if you're not doing it, people are not going to follow you. So that means for your consultant. And for your family, I have been very consistent with my work. So every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Saturday, I always do something Mary Kay. So my family knows, even my 8-year-old knows what day is today. Today is Tuesday, today is Mary Kay. What day is today? Today is Thursday, today is Mary Kay. So he knows, and that creates that consistency and that creates results. And like you have heard the importance of setting goals and having a clear vision. When you have a vision, like if you have a vision in your mind, that is always, that's part of what God's vision is for you. If you have that very clear, everything that you do every day, it has meaning. It's not that you're booking, you're selling. That gives meaning to everything that you do because you have a clear vision. So if you don't have that, one of the things that I encourage you to do, have the clear vision. And don't get it, to have a vision, it's important. To have a goal, it's important. But if you don't do anything, like if you stop, if you start like, maybe like thinking, having a party in your mind and not doing actions, that usually it doesn't help with your vision. Sometimes it's like, it makes your vision die if you have inactivity. So put yourself back into what you know you have to do. So you learn about booking. Do you have the time to book? What are you doing for bookings? Mary Kay used to say 2 bookings a day keeps your blues away. So do you have the time to do 2 bookings a day? If you don't have it, let's say you don't have it because you cannot find that time to book. If you see 2 bookings a day and it's Friday, you don't have anything on your schedule, you don't have anything on your agenda, take the time and you have to say, it cannot be over the weekend that I don't put 10 more bookings on my book. So you really have to be intentional with your bookings. You have to be intentional with your dream sessions or whatever you're doing to share the opportunity. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And you have to be very consistent also with selling. I really have to say that if you track, what you do, it makes you more consistent because your track numbers grow. If you have everything tracked and you're consistent with it, you're going to see things happening. And a lot of us, we have had the times whenever we don't see anything happening, but I guarantee you 12 years after, I have been very consistent and I have had a lot of successes in my business. And I am so thankful that I have been consistent with everything that I do. And I know that my time is up. And I know that God is going to reward everything that you do, but you have to put actions on it. God is going to multiply all your efforts, but you have to make yourself do what you have to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. So now I'm going to pass it in to Lilian. Lilian is going to bless you too.
Thank you, Rosanna. Thank you for your consistency. I've seen you through these years, and it's amazing. I love you. I pray that something that I will say tonight will touch your heart. I've been the leader of an amazing unit, of an amazing team for the last 5 months. And working with your team is something very important because your team is the people that God has given you to lead. So working with your team is a blessing because you have been chosen to inspire others and you are changing the lives of other people. So be proud of them. Number one, be proud of them. You need that. You know that God has given you this opportunity. So work with that opportunity. They are your new family, and working with them helps you grow. So that's amazing, right? God has given you what they need to teach them, to inspire them, to let them know what you know. So, therefore, they can keep moving, they can keep working, they can help, they can inspire others. So you're leading by example, they will follow you. So your team is very important. Work together with them. Have a weekly meeting. Have fun with them. Take them to your pop-ups party. Take them to your beauty sessions. And I'm a new director, but that's what I'm trying to do. I'm learning from all of you, and I'm trying to set the example. Communicate with your team. That is very important. Show them your plans. Tell them about your strategies. Tell them about your next goals. That is very important. It's very important to maintain the momentum with your team. You celebrate with them. You remember, people are watching you, like the other girls said before, and everybody is watching us. So call your team for higher standards and set by example because you're called to do amazing things. Don't limit yourself. Don't stay behind. Keep moving. Keep the momentum. Listen to your team. That's a very important thing to do. Listen to what they say. And I want to tell you that it's very important, or more important, to listen to God. Why do we have to listen to God? Because God prepares us to give the best of us to our team. So expand your vision, and make your team part of it. When we work our team, their lives are going to be blessed. And Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you." God has great plans for us. We've been called for greatness. So work with your team, work together, be proud of them, love them, no matter what. Love them, work with them, and I think that's all. God bless you. And now I will lead you with my sister, Pam Grossman, talking about work, life, and balance.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here and so excited to talk about this topic because we are in COVID still. So I know all of you know that working in COVID and your family, the lines get very blurred. And it's very difficult to maintain that separateness. And this has been important to me because December 1st, I became a sales director. So during COVID, I went into DIQ and I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that I was going to have to give up more time. I had these certain non-negotiables that I wanted to stick to. I wanted to put my family first, like Mary Kay says, right? God first, family second, and career third. And I had certain things that I wanted to do. And I thought, if I can't do this in DIQ, then this isn't going to work. I can't be a director. But what it all starts with is that mindset, right? That Mari talked about. We have to have the mindset that this can work, and others are out there and have done it. So You can find them. And so talking about this COVID work-life balance, it all starts with a mindset and a plan that Mabel talked about, how detailed her plan was. You need to be detailed about your plan. And for me, it was, like I said, non-negotiables. Do you know what your non-negotiables are? Do you have any? Does your family think you have any? Because my family didn't. Like when I was on family time, I was taking calls, I was texting, and my husband was getting very angry. Do we honor our family time? So it became very apparent to me that I needed to strike that balance. I needed to make sure that I honored the family time and I honored my work time. And when I was working, when my weekly plan sheet said I was working, you guys all know what these are. When you're in the pink, you're in the pink. Does your family honor that? Get them on board. The one thing I had to do in the beginning of DIQ was have a family meeting. And I just said, because the first month I was struggling, like I had to do everything. And I said, this can't continue. I need your help. And so I created a plan for them. I have 3 teenage kids. I have 5 kids total, but 3 at home, teenagers. I had them cooking dinner, and they were coming up with great menus and they rose to the occasion. They were doing chores and they were doing cooking. I never asked them to do it before. Even my husband, I gave him a night. So I had 4 nights that I could work on my Mary Kate, and I didn't have to worry. They didn't have to yell at me either because they had nothing to eat. So make them part of your plan. And then when it's family time, close the door to your business and go out there and enjoy your family and really honor it. But then you can totally go 100% when you're on your Mary Kay time, whatever that looks like. I know there are so many of you homeschooling and working, and kudos to you. You're here. And I know it's hard. I homeschooled all my kids. I had 5. And so that wasn't during COVID times. So that's different. But it's not easy to do it, but you can do it. And there's so many plans and different programs out there to make the time in Mary Kay shorter. Those 10-minute appointments are amazing. Go with those. Go with whatever works for you. You don't have to accept everything. Pick something. Pick a few things and make that your plan. And get your director on board with you. And if you have a team and you're growing a team, support them in their plan. Know their non-negotiables. Do they work on Sundays? I never worked on Sundays. If there's an event, I would have to talk to my husband and give him Saturday if I was taking Sunday. But you have to keep those priorities straight, and you have to have the right mindset. And that's really what it is. We have to honor our family's time, and they will honor our time. And I am going to now turn it over to Ari, who's also going to talk about mindset, the DIQ mindset, and a winning mindset. Ari.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Pam. And thank you to all of our teachers. I'm just sitting here and I feel like a big mama hen who's so proud of her babies. I'm like, what could I possibly add to anything anybody has said tonight that could be better? Because I just feel so proud of how each of you has figured it out. And one of the questions that was asked is, can you discuss the mindset to have when you're seeking directorship? And what are the key habits of someone who's seeking DIQ? And I just really feel like the best answer is it was just on display for you. You just watched women display that they were hungry. And because they were hungry, they didn't know how, but they figured it out. I think that's the reality of it. If you want something bad enough, you're going to figure it out. Now, it's not an accident that all of a sudden, it's not like there's like this fairy Mary Kay director that says, oh, you get the director wants it and this one does it. It's not like some people all of a sudden out of nowhere, they're like, oh, I don't know. I just wanted to be a director. You want to be a director because you're showing up, and because you're showing up, you want to go up. Because if you've been sitting here listening to these women, I want to be a director with them. Like, I'm like, I want to be their friend. I want to think like them. I want to, I'm going to struggle anyways, because I'm a human being and I live on this earth, but I want to come through the struggle like these women. And so you can see the hunger to want to be a director on display. And when you show up, you're going to hang around your director, and that is how you go up. You become an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So who are you spending time with, and are you putting yourself in the space of those women that you want to emulate? And that really is how you start developing a directorship mindset, is hanging around them. Now, another thing that I would do is Mary Kay has this on Mary Kay in Touch. They have a video lounge, right? And so with media resources, are you listening to the radio on your commutes, or are you listening to Mary Kay training? I know that our Driven app has tons of resources as well too. That's one way that you know you're ready for the mindset. You're like, if you just had that thought, oh, but really, I just love to jam it out, this is my routine, then maybe switch it out for a day and see that you like it more, but be willing to at least try it before you don't give it a chance, right? Say, you know what, tomorrow on my drive to work, I'm going to listen to a Mary Kay tape or a Mary Kay CD, and I'm going to see how that goes. I'm going to see, because I think sometimes we hold on to the things of the past so closely because we're not sure that it's going to work out for us, but it's not a huge commitment. Go listen to Mary Kay tapes for a day. Go do it every other day. Go do it, twice a week, three times a week, not tapes, CDs, trainings. Just make sure you stream Mary Kay training on Mary Kay in Touch or the Driven app. And that starts developing your mindset, because you start becoming like the women that you're listening to. You're exposing yourself more to it. I know for me, I love putting on my headset while I am, and fill in the blank, washing the dishes, folding the laundry, picking up the house, vacuuming. And that really is where I get fed. I'm learning to maximize. And that's how I grow as a leader, because I can't say, oh, I carve out an hour just to sit down and read a book. All of you would feel totally discouraged right now. Like, oh, well, I could never be like her. No, most of the time I'm doing it while I am driving, vacuuming, folding laundry, doing the dishes, but I'm not just doing that, right? Like, I want to make sure I'm being productive and proactive with my time. So that really is how it happens. I don't want you to think it's an accident. It's not a fairy wand or sprinkle dust that some people get and other people don't get. When you hang around women like this, you want to become like them. It is contagious. It is part of the environment. Or sometimes you just don't believe that you could be like them. But the more you're around them, the more you start realizing they're humans just like me. They have flaws just like me, and they pick themselves up. Maybe I can be like them. And you start believing in yourself more. This is an environment for growth where you come in like a little rosebud, truly, and you start to blossom, and you start to see belief pour into you. And I love that. I showed up here empty to Mary Kay 17 years ago. And today my belief is so great. And right now I feel so much better than I did an hour ago when I got on this. So I just want to say thank you to the teachers. There was another awesome question about motivation. One of the consultants asked, when you have those days that you don't want to do anything, what motivates you to get up off your butt and focus back on your business? Okay. And I love this question. She just put it out there point blank. What do you do? And I would say the answer to this is know what motivates you. And the reason why that's my answer is this: I know what motivates me, and it's called results. So for me, what motivated me when I was a consultant, when I hadn't had a good day or a good week or whatever, all I needed to do was look at my weekly accomplishment sheet and see how much I got paid per hour in my Mary Kay business. And that was enough to pick me back up off my butt to get back on the phone and make those calls and connect with women and get bookings and get appointments. Now that might not motivate you. For me, when I saw I made $150 an hour in Mary Kay, I was like, oh yeah. Or that I saw that I made $1,000 a week. That's what motivates me. But I know me, and I know that I'm motivated by that because that was going to get me closer to being a homeowner and my dream. So what motivates you and what drives you? You got to discover that. If you need help with discovering that, call your director, text her, say, what Aria is sharing right now, I need help discovering what motivates me. And the last question that I'm going to answer is, what are 3 key habits for having a powerful and productive day? And it's the end of the day. So I hope that you grab these 3, because I've said this quite often, that everything in life happens twice. First in your imagination and then in reality. And so really the way that you can have a productive, powerful day the very next day is, before you go to bed, is write down what is going to happen the next day. Write down your agenda and review it. Lay out your clothes for the next day. So when you wake up, you don't have to go through your closet. That's so, like, if I have to choose what I'm going to wear in the morning, do you know how many choices you've had to make and how many things you've put on? You've started the day exhausted with the amount of choices you can make already, just like that. Having a meal plan, and I know that it takes time to plan, but if I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat or what I'm going to cook for anybody, my day flows so much better. Everything flows so much better. So it's almost like you're saying, Ari, that I need to prepare to have a productive day. Yes, we must prepare for success. This is a habit that follows us in I don't ever accidentally end up jogging or walking. I've never been jogging. Oh, I wasn't expecting to do this today. What a surprise. I'm accidentally eating a bowl of broccoli. That's an oops. Oh my gosh, I happened to wake up at 5 a.m. on accident. We don't ever have healthy habits on accident. We must plan for them. Oh, look at that. I have 10 parties on my calendar. Woohoo. That's an accident. No, we must plan for the success. It'll never happen by accident. Somebody's laughing at my accidental jogging. It just doesn't happen, right? And so when you see success, I feel like when we hang around people who don't have these habits, it's very easy to fall back with them. It's like, oh, they're all eating, chips and drinking soda. I could do that with them, right? And then when we're hanging around people who have these particular habits, we step up to the game. And that's what happens in Mary Kay is you see women. I showed up for just a little bit, but these women motivated me and sharpened me and made me realize this is a platform where my champion can come out. And I had forgotten what that felt like. And it reignited my soul and it re-sparked me to want to chase down other things as well too. Like it's like Mary Kay started it and this is an arena to finish it out. And I love that. So those are some key habits. I say that, whenever you don't do these things the night before, the next day is typically a blah day. And have you ever written down what you're going to do the next day, planned out your day, and the next day ever been blah? Chances are that if you've written things down of what you're going to do the next day is pretty on point. Obviously there are emergencies that happen that can derail any day. But the reality is if we've written down what we're going to do, our days are not derailed. They happen. Okay. You heard the word intention a lot. You heard planning a lot. This is consistency. These themes were repeated throughout tonight's event. And I'm so proud of these directors, but I want you to know that I wish you would have seen all of us when we got here. We're not there yet either. But I feel like tonight these women are looking so cute, so awesome. I'm going to bring back up our entire Brady Bunch here so you can see them all. Here they all are because you girls are phenomenal. You guys are incredible. You're training. But I wish you could have seen us when we first got here because we were not the polished women that you see today. We would look at our director and go, oh, could I ever be like her? Oh my gosh, she's the most disciplined person. She's the most passionate about Mary Kay. But I just want you to know this. Congratulations on running this event. You're in the right place at the right time. Take these notes, go back through and highlight what you're going to implement. And I'm going to give you a challenge. Your challenge is to send your director your top 3 takeaways from tonight and what you plan to implement. Okay, so your top 3 takeaways from tonight and what you plan to implement. We had a wonderful time with you tonight. We want to say thank you so much for being here. I'm going to turn up the music. Cheers to you on Target Star. Excited for you to be a star again this quarter. And we're going to see you guys. Guess what? We're doing this again in March. We're so excited. Do you want to know who's going to be here in March? I know that you do. Okay, I'm going to share with you the flyer for next month. Here it is. It's going to come up in a second. There it is. We have Esther, Karen, Rosie, Lisa, Connie, Mercy, Lilian, and Marel. So that'll be for next month on the 16th for all of our stars. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Thank you. Thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. God bless you and God bless your business and your family. Mwah.